hope you're not too busy to listen to our stories. We hope you like them all and you don't find them boring. And are you shitting me? Blah!
Hey, I wanted to ask you.
What?
Is you said you birthed, well, you didn't birth a couple of goats, but you had some goats that gave birth
Yes.
on your
Yeah.
farm?
Yeah.
How'd that go? How are they now?
The two that I witnessed, they're still alive. They're doing good.
And you said one of them was taken by a thief in the night?
Yeah, so we had one disappear out of all of, we had 9 goats so far birthed this season, and one completely vanished.
What do you think? Where do you think that were?
It's either an owl.
An owl?
Most likely.
That's strong, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're talking 4 or 5 pound babies, Like,
Do you know much about owls?
another pretty good hunters.
They can carry off a baby goat.
At night.
So they're
Only at night.
not on the day. There's the barred owl, and then the spotted owl. The spotted owl is what caused all that trouble up in Canada and the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Do you know? But in our area, do we have barred owls? Do you know? Or do you know enough about owls to?
We got barn owls, yeah.
Okay, they're called barred. I don't know why.
Yeah.
What the?
We just call them barn owls.
They're just owls that eat our goats.
They go 3 foot tall owls.
Have you seen them?
No, but we've had signs of them. Like
Yeah.
one of our neighbors found a nest, and it was just like had a bunch of cat collars in it. And we've had cats
Holy
disappear
shit.
completely. Like we probably had 10 cats disappear over the years.
No
Yeah.
way. So a nest with cat collars, meaning it
Yeah.
just fucking brought those cats up there,
Ate them up.
ate those fuckers, and then left their cat
Left the cat collar.
there. Dude, that's sad, obviously, but that is extremely interesting that
Yeah.
there's remnants of the crime.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a crime? It's got to eat, right?
It's the wild. It's nature.
It's an opportunist.
Yeah.
It's seen a baby goat, took it.
Yeah.
Wow. And this is was near your property?
Yeah, it was probably right outside my front door, like it's
That's amazing. We had a cat, we had an owl here across the street that would hang out, and when I'd leave for work in the morning, they're eerie sounding. Just because you grew up listening to what an owl sounds like or what a spooky situation is.
Yeah, they're like pretty majestic. If
They
you think
are,
about
man.
it. They're mysterious.
They're huge. The one, it looked like a log perched up. It's like in rectangle in shape from the silhouette.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very flat up top.
The biggest ones I've ever seen probably were out in Red Knolls.
Oh, okay.
I've seen some big ones there, and then you could see like where they perch and everything. Big their scat.
Yeah, that's what they look for, right?
Mouse bones and shit.
Mouse ribs.
Yeah, yeah.
Their scat. And Red Knolls is it's a pretty interesting place. Yeah.
I love it there,
dude. It's gorgeous. And for those that are listening that have never don't know what it is, it's just how would you describe what?
It's just a big clay mound that's been slowly eroding over thousands of years,
and it's
longer.
How big in circumference do you think that is?
I would only say it's probably maybe 2-3 football fields across.
Right.
And,
but 90-degree angle straight up.
But it's and there's little crevices everywhere that you could use to climb, and then there's a couple little caves. Right on top of it's really interesting. If have you been to the top there?
I have. It's fucking terrifying.
Have you gone and have you seen that? There's like an oasis inside.
No,
there.
but you've told me about this. There's a tree that grows within the pocket of this.
Yeah, there's
right.
like this big pocket that goes straight down. Like you can get to the rim of it where it drops, and it's undercut where you're laying on it, looking down below. So
wow.
There's a big opening up top, but to get down there, you'd have to rappel. I haven't found any ways in there besides rappelling.
I wonder what. Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah, and I'm not a rappeller. I mean, I've never done it. Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I was in Scouts, man.
Scoutsman.
I'm a Scotsman.
Well, yeah, the Red Knolls is where it's at, though, man. It's a very interesting place, and there's a lot of history there too. There's a lot of folklore behind that, and yeah, owls.
I'm sure it was pretty well known by the indigenous people of this land.
The rumor is the Eagles played a show there. They played a show out at Red Knolls.
At Red Knolls.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, my drunk uncle, or who?
Have you ever been to the little cave systems off behind Red Knolls?
No, I haven't explored it as much as you have.
Like
no.
Clay, me and Smith and Rachel went there.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and there's some pretty big caves.
I always heard the story about the kids that threw it was like a gasoline a canister down in there, and it fucking blew up, and it shook, and they fell to their deaths. Again, like the Eagles playing a show. I don't know how real that is. I don't know if that's folklore, but it always scared. When I was up there for the first time, Chad took me up there, and I went up there for the first time, and it was all I could think about was these kids falling to their deaths, and also the Eagles playing Hotel California. Would have been pretty cool to see. I mean, I don't know how true that is, because you hear all kinds of.
We'll have to make a trip out there.
We'll have to, because not far from there is the mansion. Have you been there?
I haven't been to that.
Me neither. I just know it's a big hot spring, and they say the Rolling Stones owned it. And it says a guitar-shaped hot spring. I don't know. This is all stuff that I've only heard that I don't know how real.
You haven't verified.
No.
Your own eyes.
No. And I guess it's kind of hard to get out there. But on I think it was our last episode, we were talking about. I know we're jumping from one subject to the other rather quickly.
Again.
That's
what we do.
But I was talking about the Monday Night Football, where the announcers.
Oh yeah, about John Lennon's
getting
assassination.
So here it is. I'm going to go ahead and play it for you and our listeners. And
Kavanaugh will let it run down for one final attempt. He'll let the seconds tick off to give Miami no opportunity whatsoever. Timeout is called. 3 seconds remaining. John Smith is on the line, and I don't care what's on the line, Howard. You have got to say what we know in the booth.
Yes, we have to say it. Remember, this is just a football game, no matter who wins or loses. An unspeakable tragedy confirmed to us by ABC News in New York City. John Lennon, outside of his apartment building on the west side of New York City, the most famous perhaps of all of the Beatles, shot twice in the back, rushed to Roosevelt Hospital, dead on arrival. To go back to the game after that news flash, which in duty bound we had to tell. Frank?
Indeed it is. 3 seconds remain.
The fact that they go back, they're able to go back to the game. Oh, that's just it's a responsibility, right?
Right, but it's not like they knew him personally. It's like us hearing these days that
the CEO of.
Let's talk another band.
I can't think of any big bands.
Well, like
Tom Hanks,
Post Malone, or something.
Yeah, Post Malone.
It's equivalent,
That would
not equivalent, but it would be like that. And then we're like, oh well, I didn't know.
I didn't know him personally, but
I mean?
I thought he was good in the Spider-Man soundtrack. They played one of his songs in one of the Spider-Man movies.
And I doubt those announcers were big hippies, huge fans.
Yeah, they were just aware of him because the Beatles were world famous. Right. It's just a big name. They couldn't believe it. And like they were saying in that announcement, it's just a game. This is just a game. The kicker, his name was John Smith. He was actually an Englishman. But it's so strange to me to think that what a small world it must have felt like back then, or maybe even bigger, the opposite direction. I'm not entirely sure, but the fact that they announced this they had to hey, this is the last few seconds of the game. We got to tell you guys what we know. This just happened. And can you imagine the big Beatles fans that were
playing
or watching?
But imagine if it comes down to that 3 seconds, right, on to win or lose the game, and you really love John Lennon, and you hear that, and it disrupts your gameplay.
If I
lose the game.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the kickers. British.
Right.
So no, I don't. But could you imagine being the hippie that coincidentally likes football, and you're all caught up in that, and that's how you learn that one of your most favorite musicians dies? Like, that just seemed like a fucking interesting. So that was December 8th, 1980. So we're like right on the. We're right up on the anniversary. Yeah.
45 years. Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Holy cow.
Dude, 45. That's like
time ago.
half a century. And we're still hearing about it, right? It came across my feed. That's how I learned about it. And then I lost myself in the following days just kind of looking up, because I really don't know a whole lot about it. I mean, I grew up listening to the Beatles like everybody else, right? But I don't know like what it happened 3 years before I was born. So it was, I didn't live in a world where the Beatles were a thing.
Right.
That was all after. But so I don't really know a lot about the guy that killed John Lennon until I started researching him myself. And it was like, I watched interviews. David Chapman's the guy's name. Have you read anything about him?
Oh, the guy that shot him?
Yeah.
I didn't read anything on him. I just watched one of his
He's
interviews.
a creep, dude.
Who did he interview with? Was it NBC or?
It was CNN.
CNN.
Yeah, it was that the gentleman that wears the suspenders. I can't remember his name.
I don't know.
But he's famous for that. He's got a look. But I forget. But he interviewed him. And it just everything, because I watched a couple different interviews with him, and every interview seemed like contradicting in ways. So like he initially said that the reason he did it was because he thought John Lennon was a phony, which, I mean, so what? Like even
you could have killed a lot of other phonies. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Well, the guy was from Lubbock, Texas. This David Chapman, and I guess he grew up listening to the Beatles. He really idolized them, as he said. Wasn't fond of the fact that Yoko Ono broke up the Beatles, and then I guess John Lennon started living kind of a lavish lifestyle after the Beatles broke up. You know, he was they were doing their own thing. And, you know, probably living and, you know, enjoying the fruits of his labors. Didn't set right with this guy.
no.
And he was reading a book.
He was just mad they broke up.
Well, and then he was also, ultimately to do something like that.
Just to get them back together.
Right.
They just broke up because of John.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Yeah. The three remaining Beatles. Yeah. They'll put out a few albums. He turned out to be like.
And Paul did. Yeah, Paul actually.
Yeah, they all did.
Went on to start. What's the name of his band?
He had a band?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he had a band.
Yeah.
I thought he was just kind of. I just thought he was doing his own thing.
Yeah, Paul did his own. He changed the name. It's not a band, really. It's just
Paul,
pretty
and
much.
These other guys.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
George Harrison was on the Look Who's Talking Now. Remember Look Who's Talking Now? Or Look Who's Talking? The old
the movies.
Yeah, but the babies.
With the babies, yes.
Being narrated by adults.
Yeah, which
And-
were also made in the
90s.
Early 90s.
Yeah. And he did a soundtrack, Got My Mind Set on You. That was George Harrison from the Beatles. He did his own side project. They're all talented. All of them are talented.
And when you have that kind of money, you can go do your own project.
Fuck yeah. Their grandkids will
That's
be
the
fine.
American dream.
Right. Seriously.
Have enough money to do whatever the fuck you want.
And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Every last one of them. A Ringo Starr, I guess, just still kind of hangs around. But there's a lot of people who attack Ringo.
I'm sure Ringo gets laid a lot.
Oh, dude, I'm sure that, there's not even a fucking issue there.
I'm Ringo Starr.
Yeah. You're Ringo Starr. You're a part of, well, Ringo Starr's not his real name, right? Obviously.
No,
I don't know what his real name is, but I read a book about the Beatles. I've read multiple books about the Beatles, but the one, there was, I can't remember his name now, his real name, but he was obsessed with Arizona, with the Southwest. He thought that sounded like a cowboy name. So that's what.
Johnny Ringo Starr.
He wanted to be a cowboy. That was his whole dream, was to be a cowboy.
Yeah.
And he ended up being a Beatle.
Well, you think in the 50s and 60s, man, like that's when they were cranking out a lot of westerns.
Oh, yeah.
in Hollywood and
Yeah, it was getting around the world.
and, yeah, everybody was watching John Wayne. Everybody wanted to be John Wayne.
In a lot of ways, man. Yeah, he's quite celebrated in Bisbee.
Marion Morrison, John Wayne. Yeah.
Is that his real name?
Yeah.
Marion Morrison?
Yeah.
That sounds like a singer of a band. Funny enough. Wow. But David Chapman ended up being just a real big piece of shit. He said he got the idea from a book he'd read called Catcher in the Rye by a guy, the author was J.D. Salinger. And I've read some of the book. It didn't really catch my attention. It just wasn't, for me. It didn't
catch your attention.
Didn't catch my attention.
Catch her in the right.
But he in the book he was, so I guess J.D. Salinger, he loosely bases the whole book on himself as Holden Caulfield is what that's the character's name. And he's kind of, in real life J.D. Salinger lost his brother. So he writes this book about loosely based on himself, and this character loses his brother and it's adolescence and he's trying to find some realness in the world. That's what the whole book's about, right? And then so this fucking guy reads this book and he's like, this makes sense. I'm also trying to find realness in the world and
not fakeness.
And goes and fucking guns down John Lennon. And so here's the thing, though. That's what he said initially, right? Completely tarnishing this book forever. Anybody who reads this book, or I'm sure it's going to always be affiliated with...
It's a multiple assassinations, you know. I mean, the Catcher in the Rye has been linked, you know, to multiple...
Has it really?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
What other assassinations can you think... Do you know of any off the top of your head?
I think Lee Harvey Oswald.
No way.
Yeah. Plenty of evidence. It's weird. It's like a calling card for him.
That book is so uninteresting.
Weird. Yeah.
To me, I'm not saying it's uninteresting.
And it's weird. I just watched Conspiracy Theory the other day. I haven't seen it in so long. I was like, what did I miss? You know, like, you know, the more you mature, get older, you catch more things.
Oh, absolutely.
Kind of but yeah. It was, he was spitting out a lot of Alex Jones shit.
Alex
movie,
Jones.
you know? No, it's a good movie.
What movie is this?
Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
No.
Oh man, yeah, you'd love it.
Mel Gibson's in a movie about conspiracy.
Yeah, dude, he's a real nut.
Dude,
but he's right about something, and he doesn't know what. Yeah, but they're trying to. I was right.
Mel Gibson.
What was I right about?
Throwing shit at the wall. And you know what's funny is because here's the thing. It's like all these fucking whack jobs. We'll throw Kanye West in there. They're like kind of right about
some things.
But
just because you're right about some things
doesn't mean you're right about everything.
Right.
And Mel Gibson was one. He really went for it with that the Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just doubled down and kind of went after the Jews. And then he's such an interesting character because when I think about Mel Gibson, that's what I think of, right? It's just this like crazy nut job. But I also think about Braveheart, and I also think about like Lethal Weapon. And he was an American icon, even though he's from Australia. He was an icon. And then Mad Max.
Yeah.
He was the original Mad Max. Yeah. Man, I didn't know that book was that related to so many different.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Man. Yeah. Catch that movie and then do some Googling on.
Dude, I'm going to. Yeah. We're gonna take care of this on the next episode.
Okay. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to that. But that David Chapman said, so he came back later in later interviews and said really the only reason he wanted to kill John Lennon was because he wanted the notoriety. He wanted to be famous for something. And he even said, like, I'm a nobody and I wanted to kill the biggest somebody in the world, which contradicts what he said originally. His fakeness. Yeah. It's a pretty fucked up thing. And he went and he told the story very clinically on that CNN. He told it like there was no emotion.
Maybe he had to shoot him to see if he was real.
Well, he said he was so concerned that whenever he was going to fire the gun in John Lennon's back, that it wasn't going to work. And that's the only thing that he thought as he was firing the gun, that as the bullets were, he said, oh, it's really working. That's what he's telling himself. That's what he's telling CNN.
That diluted in his.
Yeah. And he's just like,
it's like he was thinking he was in the Matrix.
Yeah, maybe none of this is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Before the Matrix even came out.
Yeah. Our own new conspiracy theory. But it was very unsettling. I didn't really enjoy To me, the guy just seemed like a fucking creep and a weirdo. But here's the thing, though, like everything's connected, and so like, who would have thought this guy J.D. Salinger writes some book that it would later on be the vehicle to something so tragic and horrible. You gotta wonder.
Yeah, it's for sure. Makes me kind of want to read the book, but if you get caught buying it, I don't know, man.
You're on some list?
You're on some list,
Flagged?
probably. So if you buy it, I'll read it.
I don't know where I got my copy from, but I had a copy. And like I said, I read the first, it was like the first 2 chapters, and it was just, it just sounded like somebody talking about them. It didn't seem interesting. No, it's got to have something, right? Now maybe in the 3rd or 4th chapter things get interesting. I don't know, but
it has to start off kind of blah
humdrum
for if it starts catching everybody's eye the first chapter, they're gonna read the whole thing.
Yeah, and then what? Then where are we? Then where are we?
Then how many psychopaths are we gonna have?
It's
only for true psychopaths.
I wonder what J.D. Salinger was like. I wonder what kind of person he was like. I wonder if
keep reading.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of guy he was.
Oh, the author, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was he? Was he kind of a weirdo? In his written word, was he unintentionally causing issues, or are people just fucking sick and look for any justification for anything?
What'd be interesting is if he's still alive. And if not, how did he pass?
Yeah,
that would be interesting to me.
Find out exactly how. That's a great idea to look into. We'll come back to that.
The authors of the book that have been linked to so many assassinations.
You mentioned Lee Harvey Oswald. That's and I know that conspiracy has been run in the ground a billion times over. But when you really get into it, it's a very unsettling subject. All of it.
Yeah.
From top to bottom.
Yeah, it was a sad day.
Even if you weren't...
Now, that was a sad day. I'm sorry. Singer gets shot. Yeah, it's...
Well, it was sad.
Compared to somebody that really wanted to change this country around.
John F. Kennedy was in the fight.
Yeah.
He wasn't an entertainer. He was truly in the fight. And unfortunately...
Well, he was an entertainer. I mean...
But he wasn't known for his entertainment. He was known for his policies.
Wasn't him and his brother both actors?
I believe so, but I don't know if they were that. I don't know.
That's how they, yeah.
But let me ask, when you say JFK, do you think about what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Well, of course, guy got assassinated.
He was a president. I don't even know if we can name a movie he was in, right?
No, I can't.
but
at the time,
time, and he was
he was well known.
Well, yeah, and he's getting around. He's banging Marilyn Monroe. Life's got to be pretty good for the guy, and then that, just everything that led up to that. I don't know. That whole situation, the whole JFK assassination to me is fucking, you could get lost. People do get lost in it. People lose their fucking minds just trying to find out about the second shooter.
Right.
Completely lose their fucking minds. It's crazy. But here's the thing though. I truly believe that everything's fucking interesting. I know we were going back on our last quote that everything's a miracle or nothing's a miracle, right? That kind of dude, everything to me is so fucking interesting. And the fact that we have the internet to look up, everybody has the authority right now to not look at their social media and just get on your phone and look up anything you want and learn whatever you want. And we don't.
I remember the saying, there are no coincidences in life.
Do you believe that?
So, and I kind of do, man, because you find, when you find so many things tied, so many things had to go right for
something
this to
wrong.
happen. Yeah, exactly. And when that happens, it really does bring out the conspiracy theorists.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people, that's weird. That's pretty odd,
Yeah.
And it starts opening people's eyes. But
a little bit.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, there's, just so many things have to happen. I've been reading a lot. I don't know how we talked about this. Well, I know why, because we talked about it in the last episode about that Judith Barcy, the young girl, the actress.
Yeah.
Dude. Now, I believe if you were to take anybody, and I don't care who, from any timeline, and it properly directed, his life could be an award-winning film. Anybody.
Yeah.
Dude, I really believe that because just the more you learn about people, they go through shit. So, and Judith Barcy's death is nothing less than tragic, and it's horrible and it's sad. But I started reading about her father that actually committed the murder. And like in 1956, he was he fled Budapest, Hungary, that was under Soviet occupation. That's what I'm reading about, right? That this young man and his wife, Maria, I believe that's her name, they flee Budapest. And I'm thinking to myself as I'm reading this, I'm like, man, we're missing so many details. Like, what did they have to endure to flee Budapest under Soviet occupation?
Right. What kind of mental health were they in when they were escaping?
Right. What did they have to see?
Yeah.
I'm imagining probably like jumping trains, fucking crawling through fucking mud. You know where they end up? In Brooklyn, New York. And I try to picture, imagine going from a communist country in the 50s where like everything I imagine is probably like gray and fucking.
To the U.S. where we were really anti-commie.
Oh, and dude, and not to mention just how vibrant New York City was. Imagine going from that to that.
Even though back then, when they're, like during the Cuban crisis.
Cuban Missile Crisis, yeah.
So I mean, and we were so anti-commie that, even Hollywood was getting blamed
for being
communist,
right.
for being sympathetic to communists and helping out them as well. And is that far-fetched? You look at the way Hollywood has slowly directed our eyes, and
Hollywood's really lost a lot of its credibility.
Yeah,
a lot of it,
yeah.
and rightfully so. Because fuck Hollywood. Like I mean. It's a very complex situation. There's a lot of
all the rumors that come out of there. There's got to be some truth
to some of it, right?
Right.
But if you go back, like, okay, so I don't adore the actors' personal opinions.
No,
I don't.
They're actors.
I don't fucking care how you feel at all. Like everybody's coming down on Josh Brolin for being, he supports Trump. Like, I don't fucking care.
They want to talk about, how. Yeah, how this country should be run. Mind your own business, man. You're an actor.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah.
No, they're real wealthy.
Yeah, you have your
putting their 2 cents into the Commonwealth.
But that's
bullshit.
They're allowed their opinion.
They are.
But I don't fucking care. It's not influencing me, and I feel like when they're so used to being influential in so many different departments of their life, when it comes to their politics and they aren't influential, that there's like this, they don't like it. And like, oh, fucking well, I don't care. Josh Brolin to me is the big brother from Goonies. You know what I mean? I don't care how you feel about Trump. I don't give a fuck how any of you feel about anything that involves politics, because like you said, you've been so far out of my realm for so long.
Yeah.
You have no business saying anything because you've been living in a completely. You may as well be a different fucking planet.
Right.
So imagine now.
Hollywood.
Planet Hollywood. So Joe Barcy comes from Budapest to New York City in this time where everything's like, it looks vibrant in the movies at the very least, right? Then he ends up in Arizona of all places. And that's where he actually gets a nickname, Joe Arizona. Like that's an art I was reading. I couldn't find out where in Arizona he lived, but, or Arizona Joe is what they called him. His buddies. He was a plumber by trade. So he must have somewhere along the line picked up this trade. He ends up in Arizona. Then he ends up working in LA, and then him and his wife have Judith. Now, before we even get into what happens with Judas, from that timeline in itself is fucking so interesting. Like, dude, everything that must have happened to those people, to that couple that escaped communism, to escape getting into the iron fist of the Soviet Union. They trek across, they got all Europe. So they're at the very north end of the Balkan, that peninsula, right? Yeah. And they got to trek all that way. Well, I'd imagine they probably poured it out of maybe Dublin or who knows. In itself is probably the adventure of a lifetime.
Right.
And it probably shaped them in so many different ways and what they had to endure. And it probably made their marriage very strong. They get to New York. Then, like I said, Arizona, then LA. And then Judith comes along. And she's she's 5 when she's noticed by a talent scout while she's ice skating in a ring. And they said that her motor skills are very developed for being so small. And they approached their mom. I think the number was like 1 in a million that this would have ever happened. So they approached the mom. The mom says, yeah, she's actually, she's not, they assume she was 3 because of her size. And she's like, no, she's actually 5. So of course, they're like, well, we can work with this.
Yeah.
And I don't think child labor was especially in television.
Well, if you look at a lot of television back then, the Olsen.
Well, I think they were the ones who started that. They're the ones who fucking, it was them that all that shit where they were like, we can't, that's why they're twins.
Right. They both got to play. Yeah.
One person.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name.
Michelle?
Michelle.
Was it?
It's got to be. Yeah.
I don't know.
At any rate, so then they got this Judith Barcy, who's she's just starting in commercials at first. And then, I want to say her first film I was researching this morning was a movie called Eye of the Tiger with Gary Busey. Gary Busey of all people, man. He's a dude. Now, we want to talk about crazy motherfuckers. Gary Busey is a wild one. Yeah. He's but he just kind of reminds me of somebody just says what they.
Right. Just blunt and
says it.
Don't care.
Yeah. Who cares? And he kind of got that reputation, right? The movie's horrible. Eye of the Tiger, I think it was like 80 or 79. I forget, but it's horrible. There's
a lot of bad movies. I mean, and
Hollywood is just throwing ideas.
There's a lot of older movies I love and will always love, but and it wasn't bad because of the special effects or anything. It was just
bad, poorly.
It was just a shit movie.
Well, it wasn't well directed. It wasn't well written.
Right.
I watched Short Circuit for the first time in probably 20 years.
Yeah.
That's a bad movie. It's fucking horrible, actually. Fucking downright ghastly. I was talking to Mary about this yesterday, and we were going to the grocery store. I said, it seemed like to me that they made this movie. It took like 16 different radio controllers to navigate this robot, to give it this characteristic, right? And they achieved this. Yeah. Like, oh, wow, look at, we can make him dance and move. And then they were like, well, let's make a movie. And like, well, all right, what's it gonna be about? Like, I don't know. Well, we got the fucking robot. That's all the fucking. That's what we have. And because the movie makes zero fucking sense. I'm like, he's like. This,
which one did you watch? The original?
The first one.
Okay.
He's struck by lightning and all of a sudden could speak English. And he's like,
well, yeah, because it fried his circuitry, rewired him pretty much
somehow. Yeah. We just accepted that.
Yeah.
And then
magic.
And then he becomes like self-aware. Then he likes to read books.
Hey man, have you been struck by lightning? See what it does to people?
You know what? No, I haven't, man. So I don't know. I can't really attest. But at any rate, so she's in a movie with Gary Busey, and I just watched the trailer for it, Eye of the Tiger. And it's fucking in the trailer. I was like, this is a garbage movie. This just looks like garbage. Like, I don't know if I'd watch this. And it's, of course, this fucking humdrum story.
You watched it?
No. This story. You could predict the whole story. The movie. Well,
and really most movies aren't predictable anymore because
they've been told.
They've done them all.
Right.
They've done them all over and over.
We're just retelling this. And here's the thing. We're just retelling stories. Like if you look at movies even like Star Wars. Star Wars is really, George Lucas has admitted that he's taken a storyline of this from this old Japanese film about all these different characters, this ensemble of characters that had to come together to defend a community. And this is like a black and white film.
All right.
So that it's just borrowed and picked, right? We're all just regurgitating the same stories over and over again.
Oh, I watched Troll 2 last night. Have you seen
Trolls? Dude.
Troll, yeah.
Oh, Troll.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was thinking like
the second one out. It just came out on Netflix, and it's Norwegian, right? So it's all lipped over.
What are we talking? We're not talking about like the dancing, singing trolls.
No. I'm talking like. You've never seen Troll?
Is that what? Maybe I haven't.
So came out, I don't know, within
Troll?
the last 10 years. And then now they made a Troll 2.
The sequel.
And it was not good at all. I was like, I don't.
I'm not seeing. I'm seeing Troll in Central Park. Troll. I'm gonna look up Troll. Oh, that's Troll 2. So it came out in Norway.
Well, I believe it was all filmed there in Norway, and it's about Norwegian myth and
When it came out in the 80s.
no, this one, Troll the original, maybe.
Oh, Troll. Troll.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is like dude. Okay, this is like an. It looks like a Godzilla type.
Right. And that's pretty much what it's kind of like.
Well, yeah, we're just retelling.
But it's talking about remaking stories just differently. Like, I mean, yeah, that's like a
I've never
Godzilla.
seen a preview for that anywhere.
Yeah, I didn't see it, and then it just showed up on Netflix.
Like, yeah,
New
watch
to
this.
Netflix. But, all right, I'll watch this
Check
one.
it
The
out.
first one kind of left me wanting more trolls, and
Yeah, I think when he said trolls, I was picturing the.
yeah.
Okay.
But
So
I don't
like you didn't give it a good review.
no, I'd give it a 2 stars
So Gary Busey
out of 20.
in The Eye of the Tiger. That's the name of the movie with Judith Barcy, and she's got like 16 seconds screen time, maybe. That's it. And then her second movie was a movie called like Slam Dance, and then her big breakthrough was Jaws: The Revenge.
Okay, so she was there. She was on Jaws. Okay,
Yeah.
because I saw a picture of her when she was little doing voiceovers, and then I was thinking that I was like, she
Jaws
looks like,
too. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like what the sheriff's little
girl.
Little girl.
Yeah. So she's very small, very cute, very friendly. Her big breakthrough was true breakthrough where she was actually speaking and was Land Before Time.
Yeah.
She was Ducky.
Ducky.
Yep. And then of course became Anna Marie and All Dogs Go to Heaven, which catches us up to where we're talking about last time. But that's a very horrible, because like we said earlier, by the time that Burt Reynolds does his lines, she's already passed.
So how did her father kill her?
Shot her.
Shot
Shot her mom, and then shot himself in their apartment in Los Angeles.
That's really odd.
It is. Well, there had been a lot of complaints. The mother had complained multiple times to Child Protective Service. He was coming undone. And when I was looking at it, when I was reading about it, I was thinking to myself, yeah, I mean, I'm sure after everything he'd been through, I don't know, like, we don't know where anybody is. He
got it too easy here.
Yeah, I'm going to. I mean, I don't know what led up to the actual act of it, but I did take that into consideration that he probably should have been receiving some kind of help after being gone, after everything he'd been through, because we don't know what he's seen over there in that revolution. He may have seen his whole family get shot up. I don't know what happened, but it doesn't give an excuse. It's not an excuse. But I think that like maybe he just lost his mind.
Yeah, when it comes to taking somebody's life, there's no excuse.
No, never. No. What I'm saying though is that I wish that he could have got the help he needed.
So this girl could still be alive, maybe.
In acting.
Yeah.
Who knows what she'd be doing, really? And I feel bad for all child actors.
Yeah.
I do, because we talked about this on an episode that never made the air, but I had listened to an audiobook, and I want to say it was called "I'm Glad My Mother Died." Did I tell you about this? I'm almost certain we did. The Jeanette McCurdy from iCarly, that show iCarly.
Yeah.
The little blonde girl, the little sidekick. She wrote a book.
Oh yeah. This was a while back. We did it.
But we didn't. It never. But that was, dude. That book from beginning to end was fucked up. You just kind of get this. You're picking up on the fact that maybe her mom really wanted her to be an actress, and Jeanette McCurdy's a young child, and she's like, well, I don't know. Like, okay, I guess I will if you want me to. She's a Mormon.
Huh.
Yeah, Mormon family. They live in Los Angeles area. The mom really wants her to be an actress. She doesn't really fight it and just kind of goes along with it. And her mom sees her being this like Oscar award-winning actress in life, and she ends up just becoming like this
sidekick on iCarly.
Yeah, iCarly on Nickelodeon.
And Nickelodeon's made plenty of people.
Oh, dude, tons.
Very famous.
Yeah, no, not taking anything away from Nickelodeon, but I don't think that's the direction the direction the mother's seen her daughter going.
I wanted Disney.
Yeah, whatever, Yeah, she wanted it, but that mom ended up running her fucking into the ground. Dude, fucking ruined her life. And if you listen to the book, like you can tell when she's telling, because she narrates the fucking book. She reads the book herself, and I listened to it. Yeah, and
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. And I just listened to it in increments on my way to and from work. Right, dude. By the time I was done with this, I was thinking to myself, "Damn, like Hollywood's pretty fucking evil."
So if she does her own reading on that book, I'm sure there's emotion at the right point.
Oh, dude, you can hear it.
Yeah,
you can hear it very much when she starts talking about what it was like to be under so much pressure that she didn't want in the first place. As she gets older, she realized like this was your fucking dream. It's got nothing to do with me. I really didn't want to do this. I don't want to be a part of this. And she really does like give a tell all. Like I don't know why she talks about giving her first blowjob. She talks about that in the book. I'm like, Jiminy Christmas, this is crazy. Having a crush on Frankie Muniz from what's his? It was a show that came out about the three brothers and the crazy mom in the 90s. Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's from Phoenix. He's a big Cardinals fan. But at any rate, yeah, her fucking story, man, it made me really second guess. Like, well, not that I've never had a big fucking a soft spot for Hollywood, anyways. But that was really like made me fucking rethink. Like, god damn, these fucking any kid I see on television now, I just assume like, well, who knows what their fucking life is like? Yeah. I would have never guessed how bubbly that girl is in those shows. Not that I watch iCarly. I don't watch, but when it's been.
That's the thing about being an adolescent in the industry is you're not seeing your gains. You're not really seeing what You're not able to run your own life, but you're making all the capital for the family.
It's exactly, and that's exactly how the mom's seen it. Like, oh, you're making the money so like because you're doing this, and kind of held it over her head. Like, you need to do this because look what we can do now. We used to be this, and now we're this, and you got to keep this up. And she was like, I don't fucking want to do this, and ended up in a spinoff of iCarly. Kat and some other, I can't remember. It actually ended up being Ariana Grande, who's Mac Miller's girlfriend and all that shit. But yeah, so, but her experience through all of it sounded like a fucking nightmare. All of it, from top to bottom, from beginning to end, to me sounded like a fucking walking, talking nightmare. And then when her mom actually passes away, that's what the whole premise, that's what the title of the book is. She even walks the listener through that. Like, she came to her grave and said, more or less, like, I'm never coming back here again. You ruined my life, and walked away. I'm like, God damn, could you imagine?
Well, at least she went once.
Yeah, I mean, shit, see, got handed to her. She went. But I really think, like, I don't know if, maybe that's why you just never know with anybody, right? That's kind of been like the reoccurring theme with this show more recently, is like, you never know what anybody's going through. You don't fucking know. You don't know. I would have never assumed. I never gave that girl a second thought when I see her in the background of that show in passing. I'm like, but that's a real person. All of them are real people. All of them have their fucking issues. All of them are going through something that we may know nothing about, man. It's fucking crazy. That's how I know I'm getting older.
Yeah, we're old.
We're getting old, man. We're just fucking getting old. But yeah, that was the one other thing that I wanted to catch us up on. So yeah, I don't want to write this off as if Judith Barcy was some topic. It was sad. It's fucking horrible. That Burt Reynolds said that whenever he did his take, because at the last scene of the movie, Burt Reynolds, Charlie, the dog, he's going back to heaven, and he's telling Anne Marie bye. And he's talking to, more or less, a voice that's no longer alive.
Right.
Yeah, dude. And it said like 63 tries.
Yeah, it was, I did read that it was so many takes.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine being in that spot? I couldn't. I felt bad. I felt bad for him. Turk Ferguson. Remember, he was on that Saturday Night Live skit in Jeopardy. Old Burt Reynolds. But yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
But I felt bad for him because I couldn't imagine being in that situation. I couldn't imagine being in. I couldn't imagine the whole situation like I said, from beginning to end. Judith Barcy's story. You know, she won some fucked up lottery, minding her own business, ice skating, and some talent scout.
You get killed by your dad.
Dude, can you imagine? Like, what are the chances of everything from beginning to end? Dude, everything to me is so fucking interesting. I don't get. Now, I'm not saying the death of a child is interesting, but like everything that had to lead up to that, like you said earlier, right? It's everything. So many things have to go right in order for certain things to go wrong. It's fucking mind blowing. We're talking about Short Circuit. So, and that was in the 80s, right? That was filmed in the 80s.
Yes.
So Short Circuit, The Goonies, Free Willy, and Kindergarten Cop. They were all filmed in Astoria from 1980 to 1990. All these films. But I was reading that so you know Bumblebee Tuna?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Bumblebee Seafood, it's a cannery based. All I could think about it.
Ace Ventura.
Exactly. The Bumblebee Tuna.
Your balls are showing.
Bumblebee Tuna. And every time I would read this, anything about this, I've watched a few documentaries in the last few days about Bumblebee Seafood is what it's called, but the tuna really took off on its own. In like in the 1890. So there was all these different canneries that were fucking, providing a service there in that area. And for 100 years, so they were like the Avengers. They came together to make one company, which was
Bumblebee Tuna.
Well, it was actually salmon was what they're known for.
Canned salmon.
But it got fucking outfished, that area.
Yeah.
And so when they started doing that,
So they found tuna?
They
found tuna?
All that area got.
Well, the river's dried up with salmon now. What else is in there? There's tuna in the river.
Well, that's what get it, dude. They said it was such a 1 in a million fucking shot that like they had fished out all the fucking all of the salmon from building up dams.
Yeah.
And they fished it out, and then against their own luck, the tuna just finds this area, and like, hey guys, look, we found this, and then they got fished out.
Yeah.
So then they were canning tuna. That's what they're.
I doubt the tuna was in the river.
No, it was
out in the ocean.
Well, because Astoria is right on the.
Yeah.
But I was reading too. So they call that area the graveyard of the Pacific because so many people die in that area from the Columbia, where the Columbia River meets the Pacific Ocean. It's fucking treacherous as fuck. So the reason I'm bringing any of this up is because as I was reading about Short Circuit, The Goonies, Kindergarten Cop, all these fucking movies are being produced, I didn't know that at that time, so from 1890 to 1990, that was the prominent, it was logging and tuna.
Yeah.
They all lived very well. They were so far isolated. They really couldn't build a whole lot. So anybody who lived there, they just lived there, and everybody lived very well. And then it was around the time that people are becoming more environmentally conscious.
And that shut down a lot
Everything,
of
dude.
shit.
Shut the doors completely. Bumblebee Seafood shut completely. Logging was completely fucking shut off. And the town dried up. And everybody just suffered. The unemployment rate went like fucking skyrocketed in just a few years.
And with the lack of sunlight there, like we have here, you got depression on top of all that setting in with the lack of jobs. So a lot of crazy things. Imagine
how that little peninsula must have gone fucking wild.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was living in Vancouver, I was at a DMV. I wanted to get a driver's license, and somebody mentioned to me, they're like, don't go to Vancouver, go way out in like some small town, and it would be like the size of Safford, right? They said the drive's pretty, it's easier, you'll get in and out. was like, okay. And I sat and I sat down, and it looked like a lot like Safford. It was a small little DMV, and I sat in there, and there was like people. There was like, I think I was like the 6th person in line. But I'm just sitting down in this area, and I'm listening to people talk because that's what I do. I just even if I don't intend to, when people are speaking loud enough, I'm like, well, what I talk,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Can't help. You're not really eavesdropping. You're just
Listening.
Just got my ears on. Sorry.
So I'm cognizant.
You're speaking.
I'm aware. And I was listening to 2 girls talk. I thought this quote has always stuck with me. These 2 girls were talking about, they were like teenage girls, maybe 18, 19, maybe in that time frame, and they were talking to each other. And I just happened to overhear their conversation. They were talking about. One of them said to the other one, "Oh yeah, I don't know, he's not that good looking." And then the other one's response was, "Well, the higher lifted the truck and the bigger the beer, the smaller the dick." I was like, what the fuck? What did I just hear? Such a strange thing to say. But I wasn't obviously a part of the conversation. So I just listened, go back, and they
You weren't driving a truck, were you?
No, I was driving a little truck, and I had no beer.
Big old dick.
Big old dick.
Trying to conceal it.
But I thought that conversation, to me, it just jumped out to me so many ways. Like, what a weird conversation to be having in public, and what a funny thing to say. And the other one, the one that she said it to, laughed. Like, what? That's fucking. It was a hilarious conversation. I'm like, huh? Well, on the other side, there's these 2 older women that are speaking. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm kind of listening to 2 conversations at once, right? And so the lady's talking about a friend of theirs that isn't, she passed away. And then she's like, yeah, her cirrhosis of the liver. And they start rattling off all these names of people. And they were older. They were maybe in their like 60s. Since high school, they were talking about. They got caught up in this very deep conversation. There are 2 people who just probably coincidentally met up. They happened to both be at this DMV at the same time, started having a conversation about, and it led to a friend that had died of cirrhosis. And then together they started just rattling off everybody they lost to cirrhosis. In the time, I'm like, Jesus, that was quite the list.
I've got a list myself.
Dude, drinking is in that area, because like you said, because of how dark.
Yeah.
And I felt it. I've been there. I know exactly. It's dark. It's dreary. That you wake up and it's like you haven't seen the sun in days. You do tend to lend yourself to the bottle.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I mean, it's just so many things happening. You're like, fuck it, I'm gonna get drunk. It's drinking weather. Honestly, it really is. So when I thought about that, when I was thinking about that, I was thinking of, when I was listening to, or kind of piecing this all together, I was imagining what Astoria, Oregon must have been like in 1990 when they closed the doors at Bumblebee Tuna. And then they closed the doors at the logging yards. So there's just nothing to do but drink. And then here comes Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Did you imagine irritated those fucking locals must have been?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure it was a 50-50 on half of them wanted,
Yeah, as a change,
Yeah,
maybe?
well, I mean, they needed revenue somehow.
Do you think they brought them revenue? Do you think they didn't? I mean, they must have catered and...
I'm sure it brought revenue to the area, of course.
To some capacity, right?
Yeah.
I guess I hadn't thought of that. I thought about how irritated I would be if I was unemployed and like Arnold Schwarzenegger was across the street, acting something. I was like, fuck.
Well, yeah, but
I don't know. That's how but I don't know. I thought it was interesting that all those movies were filmed like back to back to back. Dearborn probably would be the greatest stretch of unemployment in that area.
yeah, it's like doing Hollywood coming to my property and doing a film on my property, and all my neighbors bitching about it. But I'm
all right.
I'm all right.
Yeah, I got
I'm
it.
all right with it. I'm making a lot of money.
Yeah. Johnny Five's here.
Alive again.
Johnny Five's alive, dude. And I was watching The Goonies, and The Goonies was even like, I was watching the end of it. Whenever all the kids come out of they're walking down the beach, they're found by search and rescue, right? Yeah. And the parents, and they're all hugging, and they start retelling their story, like, "Oh yeah, it was exciting. There was a pirate ship," and then one of them said, "Yeah, the octopus was really scary." What octopus? They say this.
Yeah.
And I asked Mary, I said, "Did you hear that?" And she said, "Oh yeah, no, you don't know that there was a scene with an octopus. They cut the scene. There's a whole fucking part of the movie where after they come off of those water slides into that water, where there's supposed to be an octopus scene in there, and it like grabs a couple of them and they get away, but they cut that scene, but left the audio.
But left at the end. Yeah.
So the octopus was the scariest part. I was like, no shit. They could have. I wonder who the editor was. They couldn't, like, I don't know. Maybe we should take that part out since, I don't know, there wasn't an octopus in the movie.
Yeah,
but
bad editing. Good movie.
But I was looking at, and yeah, fuck, dude, I actually, Short Circuit, I walked away from like, it's still good though. Maybe it's nostalgia, maybe.
Well, I mean, for the time, you got a talking robot.
Yeah, man. Dancing talking robot with the fucking laser beam on his shoulder.
Yeah,
blowing shit up. The end makes most of it makes no sense. There's so many loopholes in that fucking movie that you just lose count of them. And maybe it's because that's the way we were raised, at least, where, I don't know, I feel like as movie watchers anymore, everybody's just like
I said, we've seen so many.
Right.
That it's just like, I could tell you what's going to happen.
Before it even. Yeah, right. So the whole, the dancing, talking robot, that was enough.
That's all you needed for a movie, obviously.
I don't give a fuck about anything else that was going on because Johnny Five was so fucking cool. And he's beating up all these other robots.
That's like Gremlins. What was the...
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah.
What was the main storyline there?
Who cares? Dude,
fucking feed them after midnight.
Mogwais are cute, dude. That's all. Why? Yeah, none of that. They gave like such a short, like, remember like the Asian guy who's like, oh, don't feed it after, and that's it. Like, and we just accept it. Like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, don't feed it after midnight, or it'll birth.
And then Critters. It was just
Critters is the movie I thought you were talking about earlier when you were talking about trolls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like Critters. Is that when they turn into the big ball?
Yeah,
and
they all come together to roll down the hill.
And what a stupid movie, but yet.
It was scary as hell when I was a kid.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I would have watched it. A lot of those. What was the Puppet Master? Remember Puppet Master? About the guy that.
Yeah, I didn't watch it,
but it was a big movie.
Yeah,
a lot of those movies really they were just humdrum fucking storylines. Just we were just so hungry to watch. But I'll tell you now, I know we're kind of shitting on movies.
What I did like about the 70s and 80s. Is even if it was a crap storyline, you'd see some titties.
At the very least.
So, when it came to at least scary movies.
Or some, they would kind of sprinkle them in, just to keep enough interest.
Like camp movies. And
all the Jason, Yeah, you're right. At least that was one of the benefits to sitting through.
Titties.
Yeah. And it kind of, it's not as.
It helped sell. It did.
No denying that. But like I said, I was just going to say, I feel like we're really shitting on movies right now. But the one movie that I just came across yesterday, seen for the first time in my life, There Will Be Blood.
Okay.
Have you seen this?
I'm trying to narrow it down. Is it either it's a Western or
2007. It came out in 2007.
Yeah, I know I've seen it. I just can't picture. It is kind of a Western.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
it's about this town that's dying or something.
It's a very small town. Little Boston is what it's called. But the fucking movie, like, I did not expect. The only reason I watched it, I've never seen it. The only reason I watched is Quentin Tarantino, for some reason, unprovoked, a few days ago, comes out and says, Paul Dano, the actor from There Will Be Blood, is the worst fucking actor I've ever seen in my life. He done such a shit job compared to Daniel Day-Lewis, who they both did great, but he just starts tearing this guy down. And I'm like, why? This movie came out in 2007.
Yeah, what happened? What happened last night?
Yeah, were you guys hanging out? Yeah, exactly. What happened last night?
That asshole.
You just fucking
just drags him through.
Yeah, Paul Dano was what was he in? Do you remember seeing the movie Looper?
Yeah.
He was the friend of Gordon Levitt, the guy. He's a guy. He's a kid that runs, and they end up cutting him up in the past. So in the present time, his body's falling apart.
Yeah.
So that kid. So he was in There Will Be Blood. I don't know if you remember that character or not. He was also in Little Miss Sunshine.
The Looper. That's with
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I never say his name right. And Bruce Willis. Yeah. But so Paul Dano's in that movie. He's a young actor. Well, maybe he was at the time. He's gotten older. But I was just like, well, why are you shitting on this guy? So what did he do? How bad could his acting really be? And I've heard a lot about it. Some people who watch movies claim that There Will Be Blood is the best movie ever made. I've heard that a lot. So, well, I guess I should probably. I'm not a movie guy. I mean, despite what this episode sounds like, I'm really not a big movie guy. I'll watch them, but I'm not studying film. I watched that movie and it fucking really disturbed me on a level I was not anticipating. It completely exposes the psychology behind capitalism and religion.
Yeah, corruption.
Dude,
yeah,
brutal. Fuck. So the movie itself, Daniel Day-Lewis, who I kind of sympathize with, even though he was kind of like this heartless fucking villain in so many ways throughout the film. He just was he wanted a family. What he did is he started a business, an oil business, and he wanted a family member to take the reins, and he didn't have any family. So that gets exposed, but he's an evil fucking person. And I think the world makes him evil. If I'm being honest, if I'm really going to psychoanalyze the character, I think the world made him a little evil. I don't think that's something that it kind of develops, because the movie's like fucking 2.5 hours long. Dude, you got to sit down, and if you're gonna watch it,
I got to go home and look it up again, make sure I'm thinking of the right movie. But I know I've seen it. I know I've seen it at least 2-3 times. But
whoa,
I drink a lot, dude.
During that time, right?
Yeah.
So you were sent through
the last 20 years.
You sent through Masterpiece, not even because I watched it like Jason, just fucking straight sober. But it exposes like Paul Dano's character. He's a pastor, very theatrical pastor.
Yes.
You know, and he kind of that's how he gets people like it happens, right? That's what some of these guys do. And Daniel Day-Lewis sees through it, but he needs to be there because that's where the oil is. So they both of these characters that are both evil and benefiting from the people of this town are kind of at each other's throats over who gets to really fuck these people. It's more or less. And they go back and forth, and you kind of see them like really getting at each other up until the end. And at the end, I was like, holy dude, it's based on a book. I looked it up. I want to say it was Oil. It's just, subtly named. But, dude, it fucked me up. It really did fuck me up. It fucked me up that like how capitalism, it drives people to madness. It can. And how religion can drive people to madness. And when it goes unchecked, both can be so,
that movie's coming back to me now. Yeah.
Dude, it's so poisonous that everybody becomes just a cog in your fucking, in your machine that you're pumping fucking money out of. But the reason that I liked Daniel Day-Lewis, his name was Daniel Plainview. That's his name. That's his character's name. The reason that I sympathized more with Daniel Plainview than I did Paul Dano was that Daniel Plainview was very honest about how he was fucking people, and he tried to bring a school to this little town of like maybe 200 people. It was filmed in Marfa, Texas, but it's supposed to take place in California. Very Western looking, right?
Yeah.
But he was pretty honest. He said, if I'm going to fuck you guys, I'm going to give you guys.
I think it starts off in like the 20s, I think.
Yeah. And he breaks his leg in a well.
Yeah.
And then he's actually mining for silver at first.
Right.
And then comes across oil. And then he just becomes this like, one of the men that are helping him drill the well dies, and he has a child. And Daniel Plainview adopts the child. And then he is pretty honest, like with the boy at the end of the movie, you're not my son. I just needed you as a face. I couldn't be speaking to people about family values if I myself didn't have a family. So,
Yeah.
dude, it's like in if you're gonna sit down, you can't sit down and watch this movie and expect it to like hand feed you. It's not the Avengers, you know what I mean? You got to like really let it run its course, man. But that's probably one of the best movies I've ever seen in my fucking life.
As most Quentin Tarantino movies are like.
Well, I don't think it was he didn't direct it.
No.
No, he just attacked it for some reason.
Huh.
Yeah,
So what did happen last night?
Yeah, so what did happen last night, dude? Quentin Tarantino's he's a sick individual, but he can tell a story. But that wasn't him. That was Paul Wes Anderson didn't I can't remember what movies he did, but yeah, it was considered to be his masterpiece. And in my opinion, it was. I'm trying to think of the it was what movie did he do? Inglourious Bastards.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one. That's probably like the last Quentin Tarantino film. I was like, holy shit, dude, they left nothing to the imagination. Shooting Hitler in the face. Yeah, that was wild. I was going to ask you this. Do you have a favorite movie?
Yeah.
What is it?
Braveheart.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's a really long movie. It's my favorite.
What about it speaks to you? Is it just the fact that it's...
I don't know, man. Like, it brings out the... probably the renegade, I would say, inside of...
From within.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people, it only takes one person to start a spark,
Yeah. No,
fight
seriously.
back, and the right person with the noble intentions, like,
and has enough can persuade,
right?
Like
well,
influential.
And I mean, you can see everybody, all the Scotsmen in all the villages, they all talk the same, about shit, talk about what they do, but it took
right. Somebody actually fine. We're talking
a situation that probably happened weekly.
Right.
In these villages,
Like we're talking about
and
like the rape.
It just happened to the wrong fucking guy.
And he said, fuck this.
And she wasn't going to take it, so.
And he didn't.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. When I was in Ireland, I actually went to to one of where one of the scenes was filmed, and it was in this little town, and they talked about it. They were like, in Ireland, we call this little Hollywood, because Mel Gibson was here. It's a really good movie, man. There's parts of it that really fucking break my heart, but that's certainly that's a good one. But you're right. It's all about, and I like historical movies. Yeah, history to me is fucking, dude. History to me is far more interesting than anything science fiction could ever come up with.
I love his movies that have history in them, but most you don't really get into the historical accuracy.
Yeah, well, you kind of have to get away from the historical accuracy if you want to make
a 2-hour film.
Yeah, it's got to throw some love in there. You got to throw some murder.
You don't want.
But
you're not making a documentary.
But if you dig deep enough, like I was reading about that Ferdinand Magellan, right, the one that circumnavigate the world for the first time. There's theories that because he didn't make it. He didn't make it all the way around the world.
Yeah, he fell off the edge.
Well, there was 5 ships. Well, it's funny if we're talking, like history and how so he was born in Portugal, right? So he's Portuguese, but he didn't get along with the king of Portugal. So he fucking went to the king of France or to Spain. That's right next door. They border each other and hey, I'm going to lead an expedition to get us to the quickest routes to the Spice Islands. And the fucking king of Spain to spite the king of Portugal.
And at the time, Spain was one the richest country in the world at that time. So I mean, giving them boats,
whatever they needed,
wasn't nothing to them.
I read this word for the first time in my life. They were a thalassocracy, meaning that they ran the routes of they governed the ocean because of how much money they had. Yeah. So it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything for them to give Magellan whatever he needed to do what he did. And did you know, and they drew, before Magellan actually made Magellan's, the Strait of Magellan, which is down there at the end of Chile, before any of that, they went direct. They made it across the Atlantic once, and they found all this land. And so between Spain and Portugal, they drew an imaginary line and said, "Okay, you guys get this, and we get this," and that's why half of South America speaks Portuguese, and the other half speaks Spanish. It was just a land grab. They were like, "Well, okay, so this is," but then there's some competition started developing, and that's when Magellan said, "Well, fuck Portugal." I'll be your man, because he was a highly decorated Navy war general. Like, he fucking knew the ocean. He knew how to navigate. He was worth a lot of money, and to spite Portugal, because he didn't get along with their king, he's like, "Yeah, I'll fucking do this." They did this, and they made it all the way. They made it. What they wanted to do was to find that would be like Papua New Guinea now, so that little series of islands, right? That's where all the spices were. Isn't it weird to think that those humdrum spices ran the world?
Yeah, well, I mean, flavor. When you only have so much so much variety in your daily garden.
Right, yeah. Right, you can have all the
and
potatoes and carrots you want.
Then you get all these different peppers and
nutmeg was the big one, dude. Nutmeg. If you had nutmeg, you were considered
wealthy.
Upper echelon, right?
Really?
Yeah.
And all of us have probably nutmeg in our.
I don't remember the last time I ever had nutmeg, personally.
Really?
Yeah, in anything. Yeah, I don't know.
I probably had a little thing of it for 10 years, probably. You know what I mean?
Right.
We just don't use it.
You just don't use it, right? Nutmeg, cloves was the other thing. Oh. Cloves was huge. And if you had cloves, if you had a satchel full of fucking nutmeg and cloves, baby, you were fucking high rolling. You know what I mean? You're getting fucked. That's it. And but what happened was, so he decided, what I'm going to try to do is, instead of going from, if you look at a map, instead of going directly due south and hanging a left around that Cape Horn, around Africa to get to Papua New Guinea by the Philippines, I'm going to go the other direction and find a way to get through South America, which he did. He found, that's Magellan's, Strait of Magellan, which we have now, right? And they overshot it going across the Pacific. And they hit the Philippines. And he was so fucking... Way overshot. Two things happened after. One, I didn't know this, but the Pacific was such a smooth sail for Magellan and his crew that he named that ocean the Pacific, which means peaceful. I didn't know that. The other thing where he really fucked up is when he got to the Philippines, he fucking started...
slaughtering everybody.
No, preaching. Oh. And they were like, hell no. And they fucking killed him. So then his predecessor took over and
a peaceful journey, and at the end of it
fucking got slaughtered.
Yeah.
And then went back and took, at that point they started with 5 ships, they were down to 2, they kept on losing them. And fucking the Atlantic ate them alive, and then they had to camp out somewhere in the South America because the winter was harsh. The Pacific was the nicest part of their fucking journey, and they had to burn some of their ships just because they couldn't feed these men. They started out with 200. It was 200 men. So they had this whole crew. They had an armada of fucking people, and then they ended up getting fucked in the Philippines. But the reason I bring this up, because like you're saying, well, there's not enough, maybe in history, there's not enough intrigue that they needed to add things. There's theory that Magellan is considered to be the first person to circumnavigate the world, right? Maybe not. There was somebody with him that when they got to the Philippines, a member of his crew could speak the native tongue. And he ended up, so after they
quick learner,
all of a sudden you're speaking their native language, and then he ended up climbing the ranks, and he ended up taking, there was his ship, the Santa Maria, that's a whole other. It's gonna hit me later. The Victoria is the one ship that actually made it back to Spain. It made the full. Historically speaking, the full rotation. The other ship stayed in that area because it, quote unquote, broke down. because it was going to go the opposite direction. So they told you go back to Spain this way. We're going to go this way, and that ship came back and it stayed. The guy that was guiding that ship was the gentleman that could speak the language, and he was never heard of again. So he may have already made it around the world. They think that maybe he was brought in by somebody to set the whole thing up to kill Magellan, maybe even by the King of Portugal. But in itself is enough for a movie, right?
Yeah.
But how would you make a movie about something like that interesting? Because there would have to be tits.
There's got to be. There's got to be native tits.
Or it ain't worth the fuck.
And I'm sure there actually has been a movie made of it.
You think so?
Yeah. You just got to
look into it and maybe
deeper.
Because if you do you lose yourself looking? Because I fucking lose myself constantly. Well, there's a perfect example.
You get distracted.
Dude, I find myself completely fucking on the internet. I'm like, oh, that's what happened with Magellan. Because I was looking at the Continental Divide.
Okay.
So the Continental Divide, it dictates if rain falls, what ocean it goes to.
Yeah.
Unless it reaches a basin first.
Right. Well.
But at any rate, so the Continental Divide goes from Alaska. It's a series of mountains, right? Down from the Bering Strait, which is that Arctic channel between Alaska and Russia. So from that mountain range, from the furthest peak of Alaska goes down all the way through the U.S., Canada, through the U.S., through Central America, all the way down to Chile, down to Magellan's Pass, or the Magellan Strait, the Strait of Magellan. I thought, this doesn't. So I started reading about just that in itself. Because see, like even in telling a story, the Strait of Magellan, to get through that, because it's just a bunch of little islands, he had to find his way through there, and then he found it, right? But could you imagine how dangerous that must have been? I looked up pictures of it, and that's why I get lost. Because now for hours I was just looking at pictures of what Chile looks like and all those little islands, and how would you know which way to go?
Yeah.
With a bunch of ships. Then I was looking at replicates of the Victoria, the Spanish ship. They've got one in Williamsburg, North Carolina. And dude, it is fucking small.
Really?
Yeah. They're not big. And I thought to myself, where does anybody sleep? How do you get anything done? And then you imagine like you're getting...
Sleeping ain't working. Come on.
Getting scurvy. You know what I mean? Like, God damn, what a nightmare that must have been. But the end... Well, like, and I said in the beginning of this episode, to me, the fact that we have the internet and we don't... Dude, anybody could be learning anything.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's all up to you, really, as the user.
Dude, I'm really kind of reutilizing it for my own interest, because that is interesting. The Continental Divide in itself is fucking so interesting that it really does dictate anytime water falls, the waterways of the U.S., where that water goes. Every drop of water eventually will make its way.
That divide down in Central or South America, I believe along that mountain ridge, like one half is like desert,
right,
and the other half is forest,
right.
And it's just because the block of that,
right,
of how high that mountain range is.
When the rain falls, it doesn't go down that side.
Yeah,
it all goes down this way, and that's why there's vegetation on one side.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's fucking amazing. It's amazing to me that shit. Like, so I was looking at in Wyoming, right? So in Wyoming, there's a creek that it completely straddles the divide. It's called Two Oceans Creek. So this creek runs north and south, and then it Ys. One creek goes to one creek, it's closer, so it actually goes directly to the Pacific, and the other one, it goes to the Mississippi, and then the Gulf.
Makes it down to the Atlantic.
Isn't that fucking mind-blowing? Yeah. I don't know. I get kind of weirded out by people that are so politically fucking driven, and the only thing about is politics. I'm like, dude, there's a whole fucking world, right? There's like...
geology's always geography, geology, and
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
it's always been interesting.
I've become borderline obsessed with a guy named David Thompson, He was a cartographer. Which is
A cartographer?
yeah,
So,
drawing maps.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So in the 1800s, we didn't know. So going back to Astoria, the mouth of the Columbia River, everybody assumes that all this water, especially if you're in the 1800s and you're just assuming, oh well, this water is all coming from Mount Hood. No, none of that water. All that water from the Columbia River comes from the Colorado Rockies, a lake up there called the Columbia Lake. Nobody knew. For the first settlers there, and the American settlers that were there, they didn't know. It took this one Canadian fur trapper, David Thompson. Dude, this guy's story is beyond fucking interesting. It's beyond interesting to me. He was a fucking orphaned boy. His parents were Welsh. They moved to London in the early 1700s. They moved to London. The father dies. The mother doesn't know what to do, so he gives this baby to the Catholic Church. This baby's being brought up in the Catholic Church. Doesn't really know a lot about life. He's probably, who knows what he's going through mentally. Like, I don't have parents. I'm an orphan. Well, he ends up graduating from what would be like high school. Extremely talented in math. He goes at this time in the Hudson Bay, in Alberta. Canada was kind of being developed. The British kind of had their hands in that, and he went with them to learn the trade of fur trapping. And it worked, right? This is who he was. He was learning okay, there's a lot of money to be made in this. There's, you can make plenty of money, and he's got to see some of the world. But that is still to this point, he's all he has seen is relatively flat land even because the east coast of Canada, it's not known for its mountains, right? Well, through these series of adventures, he ends up at the Canadian Rockies, and his life changes. He's like, wow, they just shoot straight up into the sky. He breaks his legs. He breaks one of his legs, compound fracture, fur trapping. Now at this point, he's like 19, 20. He breaks his leg. So it took 2 years for his fucking leg to heal, because we don't have the modern,
Right.
You'd imagine. And he just studied. The natives called him the man who looked at the stars, because he would just stare at the fucking sky constantly. Then he had a dream that he's playing checkers with the devil. And dude, this story.
Did he win?
I don't know actually, but he came with in this time.
Checkers?
Checkers.
Oh, that's a shit game. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that it wasn't chess. I didn't win it. What's the difference between checkers? I thought checkers was kind of a newer take. Because I would just picture anybody in that time playing a board game, they're most likely going to be playing chess.
Yeah.
But at any rate,
No, checkers, I believe, have been around a long time.
as long.
Yeah.
But he became slightly religious because of this. He had his leg broke. Everybody's kind of writing him off. He's an orphaned boy. Doesn't have any family.
Probably gonna die.
Most likely. Then he inherits, in his time of his leg becoming healed, he inherits a sextant, the tool that they use to navigate the ocean. And he stares in, because a sextant itself, it's a little tool that could fit in your hand, right? And it's got somewhat of a small telescope on it, and you study the stars. And in the first time, they're actually you learn how to triangulate land, right? This guy knew the sky so well with a calendar and this tool. He began to map out the cabin that he was healing his leg in, with the streams, the mountains, and the stars.
Yeah.
And it was done so fucking well that to this day, the Canadian government still uses that map because it was so fucking perfect. He ended up going blind in his fucking right eye from staring at the stars so much.
Straining, yeah.
Yeah. So he's got a fucking limp. He's got a fucking half blind. He meets a native woman, marries her. They have 13 children, and he maps out fucking Canada to a T. Then he finds he's still under the fur trap, right? He's still doing his fur trapping, but he's a cartographer making these maps, and everybody's they're kind of gunning for him, but he's found religion. So his money's not really his thing.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for purpose. I want my kids to know. I want to know what this land, and he gets, everything west of the Rockies. And that's what it takes him all the way to, at the time, Astoria. And then he goes back and he finds the lake and this is all him. At that point, he fucking drew the whole map for the Pacific Northwest, all the way from the Hudson Bay, but he really started where he really started is in the whole West Coast. That's all him. It's all based off his knowledge, and he just devoted his whole entire fucking life. Dude, the fact that he could just look at stars and like, okay, this is where we're at. This is where the stream's running. This is where that mountain is. It's this time of year. This is where we're at.
Well, he stared at him for 2 years straight.
Right. Got it down to a T. He was also the first person to unknowingly document Bigfoot's tracks. He didn't realize what he was doing, right? He's like, in his journal, it's like, I've come across his tracks. And, and the natives are like, that's not... what is, the natives couldn't figure it out. Like, what is this exactly? And so he drew a picture of him. It was a big pad with 4 toes. And some natives were saying maybe it was one of the last woolly mammoths. This is in the 1800s.
Woolly mammoths had toes.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but that's what one of the natives, the elder said, that's the best conclusion I can come up with.
Because I thought they were like elephants.
Yeah, just a big
old hoof.
Just a big foot.
Yeah. Well, I guess you see an elephant. I guess they do have kind of little toes.
I see toenails drawn on them in cartoons.
Yeah.
But that's what one elder said, that maybe it was an elephant, one of the last of the woolly mammoths, and then they think that's where the folklore of Bigfoot sprung from, was this document because it's still unclear actually what it was. And when I lived in the Pacific Northwest, everybody was obsessed. Oh, yeah. Dude, it's such a thing. What do you think? You think there's Bigfoot's real?
Of course, man.
You think so?
I mean, are they still around? Probably not, but...
Like a big ape?
Yeah, why not? Every other continent's got their apes, but we don't.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, why don't we have an ape?
Oh.
But would you think... So you don't think they're around anymore, though?
Yeah, probably not.
What do you think, David?
There's nowhere to hide anymore.
That's what I was going to say, right? Where do you even fucking hide?
And if there are out there and they are real... I'm sure the government's seen them. Maybe even take a couple of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But to us publicly, I mean, yeah, we'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
God damn it.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts to think that, we just never, we're just in the dark about so much.
Unless you're out there camping and you get butt fucked by the
light. You're going to know.
Then you'll know. But I don't know how you're going to make it out of there.
Chad was telling me a story about, I don't know, maybe you've seen it too. He got really into these stories about these farmers in South America that were in contact with aliens, and that they were fucking these aliens. And actually there was hybrids of these aliens. And this is back in the 80s. Has he ever told you this?
No.
He got really into this at some point, man. I was like, man. So I kind of started looking into it myself a little bit. And there's a farmer out there who claims, dude, I've got alien children, but they're out and about right now.
I done put it down.
Dude, yeah, seriously.
On Alien Town.
He fucking truly convinced that he's the father of some alien babies.
Nice.
And what do you got? When you meet people like that are just so shameless about it, dude, there's one of two options. They're either fucking sociopathic or they're telling the truth. Because I don't think that he went out in the world and told everybody, hey, everybody, I fucked an alien and I got alien kids. I think that people came to him. And then he's like, yeah, I'm not going to deny it. Why would I deny it? It's true.
Man.
Yeah,
I'd like to see. How lonely was he? And
gotta be that lonely, dude.
What do these aliens look like, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. No, I guess that would be the next thing, right? Because you got to be attracted to something.
Because we're all told they're grays and the greens and the different.
Some fucking dime piece alien.
Yeah, but what if they are just like us? Right. But hotter.
Jessica Rabbit with fucking with an antenna, dude. You don't know. You don't fucking know. Yeah, but that guy.
Don't knock it till you try it, man.
Yeah, he's the guy. In the little part that I read, this guy was like clearly like, yeah, he's like, but they're out of town with their mom right now. They're out in space. I was like, you can't really, say nay because can't prove it. Do we actually reach 1:30? Is there anything, anything you want? Are you feeling all right?
Just my neck, man.
Is it still bothering you?
Yeah. Not as bad. It was bad, but
is it getting better?
it's getting better.
Have you gone to the water out here at the south of town?
Oh no, the springs.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Too far from my house.
Okay. I was going to try to. What I would like to do is we're trying to end every episode with a quote. Oh, Paulo Coelho, the Brazilian author who wrote The Alchemist. In The Alchemist, he says, "Every blessing ignored becomes a curse."
It's true. A lot of truth to that.
What do you when you're hearing this for the first time? What comes to mind?
Well, I mean, so a blessing could be anything.
Exactly right.
But to me, kids are a blessing, man. And if you do ignore them,
they do become a
handful. You think about that.
Oh, you're right.
That's exactly what comes to my mind.
Wow, yeah, that's a perfect analogy, man. Right, because they are a blessing. And look what happens to kids when they're fucking ignored.
Yeah.
And you're responsible for them.
Yeah.
So they'll very well become your curse. That's not what I was thinking at all.
No,
but
what were you thinking?
I was thinking a skill. So like for instance, like if you're a really good guitar player and you got a really good song you want to write and you want to share, but you don't because you ignore it.
You just keep putting it off.
Keep putting it off. When you're older and when you get into your old age, you're going to think you're going to be cursed with this thought of what could my life have been had I not used my gift.
And yeah, I mean, a blessing is everything.
Man.
Just to wake up every day is a blessing.
All day. Yeah. And it's crazy how like ignored the most basic things are, like to utilize your full functioning body. Dude, your ability to see and hear and smell, speak, move. Dude, it's...
really, just basic food is a blessing in itself.
That we become oversaturated with blessings so much that we have to take medication. Now I'm saying me and you, but in general in public, that we got to go take medication for depression.
Said we wouldn't talk about it.
But you think about it, people are depressed. They're depressed. Why? You got everything you need and then some. What are you depressed about?
People are their own worst enemies. When
they
it
are.
comes to mental health. I mean, when you dwell upon something, it becomes an obsession, and that just stirs in your brain over and over again, and you can't obsess.
You can't
on any one thing.
No, you can't, especially your problems.
Especially.
Yeah.
I mean, you're. First of all, something that's already happened to you and you're just dwelling on it. You're living in the past. That's no good.
Right.
That's no good. You got to live in the present.
Constantly.
Don't worry about the future.
Right.
Don't dwell on the past. Focus on the present. Right now, you and I.
Right. And but on focusing on the present, you're focusing on the gifts that you're being given, the blessings you're given. What an amazing fucking time to be alive. For all we know,
there's a lot to be grateful for.
All day. And for all we know, we're going to be the last generation. We might see this all end.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool to see it, but kind of.
I wouldn't. I tell you, dear. I just.
I mean, there'd be a little bummer. Yeah.
I'm not too like you.
But I mean, when it's over, it's over.
It's over, right? We got to witness it.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it's like spiraling out of control. But at the same time, like not to dwell on that too heavily, but the fact that like I get to get up every day, the fact that I get to read my favorite books, I get to choose what I want to watch and eat, and I got a wife, and I've got friends, and I don't know. It blows my mind still when people are so heavily medicated. Well, what are you medicated for? You've got blessings, and then if you like you were saying, if you just focus on them. And here's the other thing too. Whatever, our bodies are intended to be used, right? That's the whole reason we have legs is to use them. That's the only reason we have arms, and and when we don't use them, we pay for it.
Yeah.
The blessing is denied, so it becomes a curse.
Right.
You're in pain. Dude, when I'm skating, I'm 42 and I skate. If I skate downtown, when I get back, I feel as good as I've ever felt in my fucking life because
That's
I
crazy, huh?
utilize my whole fucking body.
Feel way younger.
Oh, dude. And I'm doing ollies. Like when I'm doing an ollie, I feel like I'm 16 again. And I know I'm not. I can feel it like, but just the muscle memory.
Yeah, if you don't use your body, you will lose the ability to use it.
And we're seeing it every day with people. Yeah. And like people like they're going to, well, I need to I'm getting medication because my or this and that and my fucking, I'm hurting here. And I'm like, if you just use your body the way it was intended and eat, you don't even have to eat super healthy, just healthier than you have been. Right. You'll be okay. You will be okay. That's. I guess that we can wrap it up on that, right?
Yeah, that was a good one.
All right, buddy.
All right.
See you next time.
Yeah, bye.